Hey guys, it's Aviation Nation 12 here with the second part of the airport tour. Um, if you haven't watched the first part, make sure to go watch it. I'll link it in the description below. So moving on, we just did the runway. If you missed the last part, we did the runway and the taxiways and the supplies we used. When I say we, I mean me and my dad, because this is like a father-son project that we are doing. It's not completed after almost a year. I think we got the supplies in fall because we thought we would work on it in the winter because it snows here. But we never really did it in the winter. We did some of it, but we mostly did it in the fall and spring. Which we weren't planning to do, but we did. So right here, we have a big hedge. As if you ever been to Vancouver, you would know that instead of fences, they grow those huge hedges, which are just absolutely massive, and they're pretty cool. So instead of adding a fence, we added one of those hedges, which I think was a very good idea. We added rocks here because before it looked like this, and it kind of looks like the bush is just growing out of the cement, or in real life it would look like it's growing out of the cement, but in the airport it's really growing out of the paint and wood underneath it. But so we added rocks here, but we're not sure what we're gonna add here. We're thinking of adding just a little strip of grass. So just because it looks like it's growing out of here and it doesn't look realistic. So moving on to the trees, this is the first thing we ever did on the airport. It's this kind of area. We designed this whole thing out. Here, I'm gonna get a. Sorry about the background noise. I'm on this rolly chair, which is really fun. It is super fun to roll around, and I'm sitting on it right now. So this is the airport. Well, the front of it. This is the international terminal, if you were wondering. This is the first thing we did. Our layout wasn't supposed to be like this. Our layout for the airport was supposed to be, there's a terminal here, and then a big long terminal right along here, and then a runway here and a runway there. But the terminal that we were eyeing was sadly discontinued. So, before we, when we came up with the original plan, we had this pretty much all built except for this little part here. So we did the trees here, and we thought the runway was gonna be back a bit more, so we put the tall trees over here, which as you can see now, the planes have to take over the tall trees. So that's why it's like that, but I mean it's fine because they land quite a bit over there. They don't immediately land right there. They kind of skip a bit of the runway, and if you watch spotting videos, you'll know that the airplane doesn't land exactly on the end of the runway. It usually skips a bit of the runway. So that worked out well. So that's what we did. As you can see, we have different colored trees. We have yellow trees, but they look lime green. They're kind of yellowy green, but more on the yellow side, but they look green on the camera. Pine trees and some big, I'm not sure what would you call this trees, but yeah, if you know Vancouver, you would know that there are big trees. If you've been to Stanley Park, you know that there are quite big trees, so we kind of wanted to do that, as you can see. And then next, we added these roadways. This is a 4-lane road. This is for arrivals, to go pick up people, you know, taxis, buses, and cars. For the cars, this is a parking lot, and we just haven't added the little yellow boxes, because that will take a while, and we're probably gonna save it till last. And then right here, we actually didn't put this. Oh, well, we did on this side, but on this side we didn't put this line here. This is gonna be like a curb where you can walk on, you know, a little curb where it goes up, where you can walk and cars can't park. So that's what this is gonna be, so you're not walking on in the parking lot the whole time. And then you can kind of walk from here and across the road. And so we kind of mapped that out, the sides with a pencil, but we're not sure what to do here to make it look like that. We might just not put the parking spots there. Right in here. So yeah, that's it for the parking lot. Sorry if that got a little repetitive. So right here we have it's going to be a 2-lane road that goes up to Departures. This is my favorite road because you kind of have the trees on both sides. I just think it looks really, really cool. So you're coming here and you're kind of turning the curb, and then you go up the ramp and right to Departures. And by the way, this is a one-way road on this area, so you would come from here and then go off, and then same with this, you would come from here and then, so it's 1 lane. And then we added these trees so it wouldn't just be one thing of grass. And then for these trees, you can see they have a little grass bottom. We were trying to make those little rock pits around the trees that you see in a lot of cities. Okay guys, so I'm back. Sorry about that. The camera just suddenly stopped recording because it said there was not enough storage space, so hopefully there is now, and if it cuts again, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, where was I? I think I was talking about the little grass things underneath the trees. So we added those, so the trees didn't look like they were planted into concrete. So we added those for, it just looks nice, because in the cities, or worst cities I've been, they have like little grass areas around them. So yeah, that's why we added those. Same with this one. Pretty much the same thing on this side. And then here we added a little hill, as you can see. This was originally supposed to be a lake, like a little pond, but that didn't work out, so we just made it a hill. We put some rocks here, rocks up here, because it looks nice, and to prevent, because it was kind of sloppy, the edge, so we put some rocks there. Here's kind of a back view. We haven't put enough trees here yet. We're still gonna put new trees up, but this is just all the trees we put so far. I really like how this turned out. I wish we put it here too, because it really looks nice, because the ground isn't just flat everywhere. It has elevation and relief to it. So yeah, that's why we added that in. And then we're gonna put more hedges in, but we haven't gotten some, so it's gonna cover up all of that. So right here, we didn't put this in, fill this in with anything, because when the planes back up, they'll back up to here and then they'll exit. So we didn't put anything here, because in real life, say this Virgin Atlantic came out, it would back up to like here, and as you can see, the grass, I mean, if we put the grass here, it'd be on the grass right now. So if we ever add a board to this side, which we would probably never do, if anything, we'd add a board on that side. So if this kept going, it would probably go, I don't know, to here or something, and then the grass would be here because the plane needs space to back up, or it might need extra space, so if a plane was waiting and then for that plane to back out or something. So that's why we didn't put grass here, and I think it's kind of a unique feature. So that's why we didn't put anything there. Right here we have the domestic terminal and Delta / Air Canada and WestJet. This kind of isn't as fancy as international. As you can see, it's not nearly as fancy because we couldn't have this terminal back so far as that one, because we need room for taxiing and letting the planes back out, and we needed a room for this kind of taxiway in here. So it's not as fancy. My dad suggested that should be the domestic and this is the international, but I just think if you are coming into BC, Vancouver, that you should have kind of a nice scenery by you if it's your first time and you haven't seen Canada before, or BC or Vancouver. I think it would be nicer if that's here than this kind of thing. So that's why we decided to put this one as domestic and that international. Originally this was just supposed to be a road and then it would turn off, but my dad suggested that we make this kind of loopy thing, and then we would put like a tree in the center or bushes. So we did that, and it looks really nice. As you can see, if we look from above, you can see that this hedge doesn't really move. It may move a little bit right here, but it keeps this straight line. So, and I think that was what we were going for. I can't remember if we were going for that, but it just happened to work out that way, and I really like how that worked out. And so we have like this kind of, it looks like a hook to me. That's why I kind of call it a hook. And so we put that in and put some trees in. So that's what we did here. And then we added this little roadway for the arrivals. And then over here, we put in a little piece of grass because this is just going to turn off because we're going to have a little thingy-bob-or what do you call it? Cargo terminal. So that's it for part 2 of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part